Hey everybody, welcome back to the Miniac. Tonight is another live stream. Pardon, I'm having a little trouble talking, it seems. But before I get into the live stream tonight, I just want to let you all know that if you're looking for the latest in mini performance parts and OEM parts, whatever have you, head over to outmotoring.com. Use the code Miniac5 and you'll save 5% off on your order. I believe they also give you free shipping for any order over $195, so pretty good deal there. If you're looking for grill badges or any cool decals you might want to have for Mini Takes States whenever they decide to announce that, head over to motoringstripes.com, use discount code Miniac, and you'll save 5% on that order as well. But let's get to it. As you all know, on Friday I had a video on Brexit and what that means for the Mini brand, and the debate and discussion that went on in the comment section I think is fantastic. I was a little concerned that it was going to go a little offhand and possibly piss people off, or people are going to come at me for putting information out there. But it seemed like it went very well, and I think people were having a good debate, having a good discussion about what exactly was going on in there. So to start with, I had some comments I pulled up here saved on my phone from several people who viewed the video. And I'm not going to give their last names, but I'm going to give you a few of the comments that some of the folks had. So I have, for example, this person, Nick. He said that I should point out that not everyone out here in the UK thinks it is unfortunate to leave the EU. Also regarding tariffs, this all still has to be agreed. But do you realize that the UK is a far larger market for the EU than vice versa, to the tune of £66 billion? So a tariff war would most likely be somewhat disadvantageous to the EU. Interestingly, Nissan, who also have a large plant in the UK, have said that if the worst comes to worst, they will see that as an opportunity to seize a much larger share of the UK market. What you lose on the swings, you gain on the roundabouts, as we say. Another relevant point, from 2035, petrol and diesel car sales will be banned here, and I suspect Europe will do somewhat similar. So it will all be changes. So that was something that Nick had to say. I appreciated his comment and was not in any way pissed off by what he had to say. So another comment here from a subscriber called AH, and he kind of went at Nick here. Nick is a very typical Brexiter who gets his news from Facebook and doesn't understand economics. He still thinks the UK is a colonial empire, yada, 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 so forth. The impact of a no-deal Brexit on the automobile industry would be potentially catastrophic. There is no other industry that is more tightly integrated than the European automotive industry. So basically, there was a very interesting debate back and forth here, and it was kind of cool to hear different people's viewpoints about it, and there were some people who weren't too thrilled about it, and so on and so forth. What was interesting is I didn't know that BMW is opening up a plant sometime this year in Hungary, so that could be put to the advantage of BMW should they decide to move production. And I know from a subscriber or viewer that I chatted with in India that the Mini Countryman is actually built in India, which is oddly enough making it the most affordable Mini compared to the hardtop convertible and Clubman, for example, because those cars have to get imported into India. But the Mini Countryman is mass produced there at a plant. I don't remember what the location. I think it's Chennai, something like that. But it was kind of interesting to hear about that. So the cars are already built all over the place. The Mini Countryman is built everywhere, apparently, as it would seem. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for Mini to move production outside of the UK if worse came to worse. I don't think that's going to happen. Another YouTuber or another subscriber pointed out that, or viewer pointed out, that this is all still not set in stone yet with regard to how the tariffs and dealings with the European Union are going to be. And I believe they said that is still not ironed out until sometime later this year, possibly November of this year. So there's still some time for all that to get ironed out, and I'm sure whatever happens, happens. That being said, I think the current situation with Brexit and so forth might explain why the collision center cannot get the rear bumper fascia for my John Cooper Works Clubman. There are no parts available anywhere in the country right now, or anywhere in the world for that matter. So they're trying to figure out what to do. They may end up having to use a salvage part rather than brand new, which is what they were trying to do. So we'll see what happens. I should hopefully have my Clubman back soon. What's frustrating is it seems like it just kept getting into mishap after mishap. This month and last month, it seems like I have barely been able to drive my own car for the last couple of weeks and months. So kind of frustrating if you can imagine to not be able to drive your own Mini and currently be stuck driving a 2019 Toyota Camry, which is, I can say it's the equivalent of driving your sofa because the seats are kind of cushy. And now I understand why everyone driving those larger cars tends to lean over to the side while they're driving. So not exactly driving excitement, as it were. It's not the ultimate driving machine like BMW. It's not as fun to drive as a Mini, although driving it like a Mini is a little on the terrifying side, and I've done it several times without forgetting that I was in that car. So should be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, before I get to the other video I'm going to discuss, Stan Cartwright here. So do you think all the parts will go up in price now? I don't think that's going to happen because I believe the European Union still has an agreement with the United States, and the UK still has an agreement with the United States. So I don't think parts are going to change as far as importing to the US is concerned. I think they will change how they interact with the European Union and the UK, though. So there's still going to be something there. The problem is that usually BMW and Mini and most automakers tend to keep a supply or continue to manufacture a supply of parts for about 10 years after a car leaves production. As we all know, the R55 Clubman ended production 2014 for at least the US market, so that's why I have a 2014 John Cooper Works Clubman. What we don't know is why that part was discontinued. It's a John Cooper Works factory John Cooper Works Clubman, and that rear fascia panel is unavailable anywhere in the world. So we're not exactly sure what happened there. The car is only 6 years old, but they should have still been manufacturing the parts. They could just be delaying manufacturing parts, which is what they tend to do. I mean, the rear seat delete I had in the Cooper S JCW that I sold, that panel was on back order for 3 months and before it finally was manufactured and shipped. So it might be that they just have a delay on it, and unfortunately I happened to hit that right point in time where I could not get where the part can't come in because they haven't made anymore. So there could be that. But anyway, as far as pricing is concerned, I don't see any changes in the pricing anytime soon. Pricing as far as import to the U.S. or export is depending on the exchange rate. So I believe if it's cheaper in the UK, then it's cheaper here and vice versa or something to that effect. So I don't see any change in price anytime soon, but you never know. It could happen. It's been known to happen. It has happened. So we will see what happens there. Anyway, the other video I did that you all saw, and I did that video actually a while back, which is why it is in a different format from my current videos. That one was the 8-speed automatic Mini Countryman video. You got to see a drive along with that car and how good that transmission actually is. So you've now seen 3 videos that I've done with the 8-speed automatic. You've seen it with the John Cooper Works hardtop. You've seen it with the Mini Cooper S Clubman all 4. And you've seen it with the Mini Cooper S Countryman all 4. So you've now seen my take and my driving on 3 different vehicles with the 8-speed automatic. And honestly, I actually think the transmission is very, very good. I still prefer manual transmissions. I'm still disappointed that we're not going to have a manual transmission for all 4 platforms in the US anymore. But I still think it's kind of fun. I still think I still think the 8-speed was very enjoyable. You just got to learn how to really work it and really use it to your advantage. With any kind of car, you really have to use the car to your advantage, and that's kind of the thing. You have to make the most of it. So with the 8-speed automatic, it came down to it works great in regular driving mode for city driving and so on and so forth, cruising around town. The sport mode is great for highway and if you go out on the track, and the paddle shifters are good for the track as well. So it came down to how you use the transmission. It's really 3 transmissions in one. So it really made it a very enjoyable driving experience with those cars. Now, as some of you are aware, I don't drive the cars that I'm using in these videos as aggressively as some of you all out there, or as some of you all would like me to, and that's because my insurance is on the line when I go out and drive those cars, so I really don't want to risk damaging property that I don't own. So that's why I drive them. I tend to drive them as, quote, tame or granny or not as fast as the rest of you out there. But good overall transmissions, good overall cars. Everything's been going good. Now, I do have a video that I'm going to be working on Friday for you all, and that is the 2021 model year for Mini, for the U.S. market at least, starts in March. So all cars built that are being ordered right now are coming out in March will be 2021 models. That also means the return of the manual gearbox. So that is fantastic news there. There's going to be some changes that you're going to like, some you're not going to like, and I'm going to definitely do a video on that so you all can know exactly what's going to be changing, what's not going to be changing. Now, I understand right now it's a little on the slow side here as I only have 2 people watching this video, which could potentially be 1 person. But I'm going to head into the comment section as I've done discussing those 2 videos and see what you all have to say. Sonic Liberation, dude, when are you going to get your hands on a Cooper SE? Well, the problem with the Cooper SE is it's currently a order-only car. There are no allocations at present to dealerships for inventory. You have to basically have someone who wants the car. So as it stands, I will not have a chance to actually drive the car anytime soon unless they finally get an allocation for a inventory vehicle. And then as soon as that happens, you can be sure that I will be driving that car and getting a video of it. You can be sure of that. Now, the problem is it'll probably have to be an overview and a drive around the lot, as it were, because it's going to be a fairly limited run car, so I'm not going to probably be able to take it out for a road test. But if I get the chance to actually take it out for a road test, I will be sure to do that. And I think as the production ramps up, there'll be more and more cars available, so a chance to actually take one out to do a full road test will be available to me. But at the present time, I'm looking at probably just a overview of the car, review, and then around the lot. I also know that there is a GP3 that will be coming to my local dealership when the orders finally ship out. There's a customer out in California who decided to change his order to Baron Mini when he found out that his dealership out in California, and I don't know the name of the dealership out there, so I'm not going to name it. They said that the markup on that car, instead of $44,900, was going to be somewhere around $70,000. Now, $70,000 for a John Cooper Works hardtop is ridiculous. $70,000 for a John Cooper Works GP3 is ridiculous. If you're paying anywhere above MSRP for a John Cooper Works John Cooper Works GP, you are getting ripped off. I am going to stress that completely. You are being ripped off if you're paying above MSRP for that car. It doesn't matter what they say. The quote supply and demand thing is complete crap. The car is $44,900, and you shouldn't have to pay any more above MSRP after taxes, title, and fees. So if you're paying more than that, go to Baron Mini, contact the sales manager over there, and place an order with him, and he'll work with you to ship the car out to you, and you'll save yourself 10, 15, 20, 30 grand. So that's a little plug for the dealership, but I still think the car is overpriced in some markets, and I can't believe people are going to be willing to pay 70 grand for a John Cooper Works GP. But anywho, back to the comments. Sonic Liberation again says, how can people test drive them prior to purchase? The only way you can test drive it prior to purchase then would be to actually drive a Cooper. Apparently, that's the guy. There's one coming to the dealership that's ordered, and that one was the guy test drove a Mini Cooper to get an idea of what the electric Mini was going to be like. So I don't know. They're looking at trying to get one to the dealership to use as a demo car. So hopefully soon. We'll see what happens. Ethan F56, the SE is such a good price. I was worried it would be too expensive, but with the tax incentives, it's great. Sonic Liberation again. It is amazing how well equipped the basic model is. Yep. Sonic Liberation again says CarPlay, nav, heated seats, driver assist, etc. Yep. All that for $29,900. And then if you go to the higher equipped one, $36,000 or so, you get a lot more stuff, including, I think, a panorama sunroof, which is pretty nice. You also get those really cool 4-spoke wheels, which are kind of interesting. I actually was watching one of the sales associates was watching a training video on the electric Mini. So I got to see exactly how they do a wheel balance on that wheel. And it's really weird how they do it because of the way the wheel is designed. So it was kind of interesting to watch. But we'll see how that all pans out. But anyway, what else is going on with Mini? Well, as I said, there's GP3 possibly coming, and the guy who's watching it is a subscriber of mine, or the guy who ordered is a subscriber of mine. So I'm hoping that maybe he might let me, before they ship it out, he might let me drive it for a video, and I promise to go easy on it before it gets shipped out. So we'll see what happens. At the very least, I want to at least do a review walk-around video of the car to share with you all. So I'm hoping he's watching, and if he'd be interested in letting me do that, that would be fantastic. Also, what else is going on with the channel? If you haven't been over to my Teespring store, and I seriously suggest you should, go over there, check out some of the new designs that we have coming out. Ethan F56 in here actually designed the graphics that are on the shirts and some stickers and everything. And we are selling them through the Miniac's Teespring store, so you all can buy those really cool designs. There's some cool stuff in there now, and I am naturally, of course, sharing the profit from the sales with him on every order that he makes. So every design he makes that goes through my Teespring store, he gets a share of that profit. So it's a pretty cool situation, and I get some really cool designs to share with you all, that stuff that I couldn't even make, that I think it's fantastic work. He's a fantastic artist, and I think the designs speak for themselves. So if you want to head over there to the Teespring store and check out those shirts and everything, I definitely suggest you do it. Sonic Liberation again, do you think Mini will do a revamp of the Cooper interior now that this generation will be with us for several more years? Yes. In fact, I know there's going to be a second LCI, and I do have a video I'm going to be working on Friday that'll go up on Monday. I'm probably planning for Monday at the moment, but that'll be a video where I will talk about what is changing for the 2021 model year for the U.S. market. So I'll be using a 2020 model as an example, but you'll get to see exactly what's going to be changing, and there's going to be a lot of changes. So not really major changes, but there's going to be some changes you're going to notice. I mean, you're going to hop in that car and you're going to see something that you weren't expecting to see in that particular vehicle. So anywho, that's going to be changing. So there's going to be some cool stuff coming down the pike, but the Mini Countryman is our next car that we're going to see an LCI for, and that'll be revealed in this fall, and then we'll see that probably start to trickle into the showrooms early 2020 or early 2021. So that'll be pretty cool. Ethan F56, yeah, the designs are awesome. Would you like to do a 100,000 mile review of the F56 sometime this summer? I'll drive up there. Ethan, if you're going to drive up, you don't have to drive up, but hey, if you're going to drive over to Kansas to do a review on a white silver Cooper S with 100,000 miles, I'm all for it. We'll do that. You come over to Kansas, we'll do a review on your car. I have no problem doing that. I think that'd be a fantastic video to do. We could then do a side-by-side comparison, see how our two cars have aged. We have an F56 Cooper S of 100,000 miles, and then we have my R55 John Cooper Works Clubman of over 100,000 miles. So that'll be a good video right there. So yeah, I'm all for it. But let's see what else we got going on here. We have, now some of you didn't know this until I was doing some research recently. Guess how many standard speakers in the Mini Cooper, how many standard Mini Cooper speakers are in the Mini Cooper hardtop? Not the convertible, not the four-door, but in the Mini Cooper hardtop. How many speakers do you all think are in that car? And I'll give you a few seconds to answer that. And it's a pretty interesting thing. So if you all know how many speakers are in the Mini Cooper hardtop, Sean Nicholson says 8. That is incorrect. Ethan, you want to take a guess? Sonic Liberation, you want to take a guess? Stan, do you want to take a guess? If all of you are still here. So I got 8 so far on here. That's incorrect. There's not 8 speakers. Oh, took my watch off. Let's see. Where's the Jeopardy theme song when you need it? Anyway, so if none of you are actually in there going to guess, since the subs are under the seats, maybe 8. Subs are not part of the standard speaker package. Maria, hey Maria. Maria says 6. Maria is very close. Either 8 or 10. Okay, give up. All right. The Mini Cooper hardtop has 4 speakers. Crazy, right? It has 4. And I don't know where. I know 2 are in the door. I don't know where the other 2 are. Anyone want to hazard a guess how many speakers the Harman Kardon sound system has? Now, bear in mind, the Cooper S has 6 speakers standard. The Cooper convertible and the Cooper four-door have 6 speakers. The average Mini has 6 speakers except for the Cooper, which has 4. So how many? I think the Clubman might have 8. I don't know. But how many speakers do you think the Harman Kardon sound system has? Now, guess this without going to look. Ethan F56 says 12. Anyone else want to guess? Ethan says 12. JCCJ, hey, how are you? Let's see here. We only got 12. Okay. So Ethan F86 says 12 speakers. Sean Nicholson says 2. No, it has more than that. Anywho, the Harman Kardon sound system in the Mini has 12 speakers. It has it has one in each A pillar. It has 2 on the top of the dash, so that's 4. It has 1 in each door, so that's 6. It has the 2 subs under the seats, so that's 8. And then it has 4 in the rear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it has 12. So there are 12 speakers in the Harman Kardon sound system on a Mini. That is there, at least on the F56 ones. I think there were only 10 in the previous generation. But there are 12 speakers, 2 subs under the seats. Now that is insane. That is a lot of audio in that car. It almost makes you want to have the Harman Kardon sound system. Not saying you don't have, you should, not saying you should or shouldn't have it, but it's insane. It is really a lot of speakers. Sonic Liberation, do you find that the 16-inch wheels on the Cooper SE have a better ride than the 17s? 16s will always have a better ride than 17s, but I still like this. I like the look of the 17-inch wheels. And JCCJ, are you a salesperson of Mini, or you just love Mini? I just love the Mini brand, JCCJ. So I just love the Mini brand. I'm actually a brand ambassador for the dealership, for my local Mini dealership. So outside of the dealership, I'm kind of the quote cheerleader for the dealership, as it were, or for the brand. I really like the brand. I really want to promote the brand. I really want people to love the brand as much as I do. And I think it's a phenomenal brand. I think it's got the technology has improved over the years. The design of the cars, the way they're built has improved over the years. And it's just one of the best brands right now. And it's the most fun brand to look at. I mean, you go out into the parking lot of the Mini and BMW dealership side by side. The Minis always look like they're fun and happy, and they're always excited looking. They always look like they're ready to go somewhere. And the BMWs always look pissed off. It's really true. Go out to a BMW and Mini dealership if they're side by side. Go out and look at the cars and tell me that you don't disagree, that you don't think that the Mini Coopers always look happy and excited and the BMWs always look pissed off. It is so true. It is just really funny to actually go out and see that. JCCJ says, when new generation of Mini will be announced? The next generation Mini is supposed to be 2024, 2025, somewhere around there. That is the pushback, because initially they were going to release it a lot sooner, but with Brexit, they have decided to delay it. So the development is currently delayed. So I don't know when they're going to actually start building that car or start developing that car. So we may see a development model sometime next year. They may start using a test mule. They may already have test mules out there, and we just don't know it, because it's very easy to take a current Mini and underpin a new car underneath it. For that matter, if you ever look up pictures of test mules, there is a BMW M5 test mule that was actually it wasn't a test mule for the M5. It was actually a test mule for the Porsche Panamera. But you might be surprised what they're working on. I heard there was an electric Mini that was driving around at one point that had a John Cooper Works body on it. So that was what I heard from someone who was over at the Oxford plant. So you never know what's going on. They might be working on the car right now, but the next generation is supposed to be about 2024, 2025. So we got at least 4 or 5 more years before the car comes out. So a little bit of a longer delay. That does give the aftermarket time to catch up with the F56 cars. We might see some more aftermarket parts for these cars, which would be fantastic. But you never know. They could change their minds. They could add things. They can delete things. It could happen. They could end up deciding to release it next year, for all we know. But at the present, I'm looking at probably 4 years before they release the car, or before we start seeing, at least in the next 2 to 4 years, we'll start seeing the test mules and the future production cars for the 4th generation Mini. So we have some time. Do you like the new digital dashboard or current design? I kind of like the digital, and that's only because I'm used to having a digital speedometer. Now, let me explain that. I own what would be, quote, a 2nd-gen Mini. It's a 2nd-gen Mini or 1st-gen Clubman. Now, it has the giant speedometer right there in the center. I never look at it because I have a digital readout on the TAC in front of me. My first Mini was an R53 Mini Cooper S, and I had the chrono pack right here. So I had the speedometer up here next to the tack. So I had what they call the Mickey Mouse ears. So my speedometer was up here. I never looked at the center thing. My next Cooper was a Mini Clubman. First was a Mini Clubman non-S. Speedometer had the digital readout on the top. That's what I looked at. My Mini after that, digital right there. That's what I looked at. And it was also an R56. So then I get to my R55 John Cooper Works Clubman. Same thing. So getting into the current Minis, the speedometer being up here over the steering column doesn't bother me. I actually enjoy it, and I get more annoyed when I'm running low on fuel, and it decides to take away the digital readout for the speed for me and put low fuel warning light right there until I go to the gas station. Because then now I have to stare at this dinner plate here where the needle isn't exactly where it should be on the speed. So then I have to look over here to get my speed rather than look straight ahead to get my speed. So I don't really think there's that much of an issue with the new digital dashboard. Now, all of you out there might disagree with me. You might prefer the style of the regular analog tack, and for that matter, the analog tack is still there. As you know, the new gauge is kind of an oval shape. The speedometer and whatever other telemetry and everything is in the digital side. The tack is still analog. It still has a needle. It still goes up and down, and it still gives you your RPM, or if you have an electric car, it gives you your voltage or range and so on and so forth. So that really hasn't changed. It's just that everything else is digital on it now. So I kind of like the idea of it. I haven't actually driven the car yet to know for sure, but I do believe that they are supposed to be including the digital dashboard or the digital instrument cluster on all 2021 models that start to come out in March. So we may actually see that a lot sooner than we were planning to see it, which is going to be kind of cool because we know it's going to be in the GP3 and we know it's going to be in the electric Mini. So apparently it's also going to be in all of the Minis. So that'll be a cool thing to see. But that's my general opinion of it. JCCJ, could you make a video and introduce the new digital LCD dashboard? It is difficult to find YouTube video of it. JC, as soon as it is at the showroom, you can be very sure that I will do a video on it. Now, some of you have asked me before to do a video on the Apple CarPlay. I plan to do a video on that one as well, but that one drove me nuts when I was trying to do it the first time. So I needed a car that actually had a charged battery to do it correctly. So I'm going to do one like that as well. So I'm going to do several videos on mini tech. They'll be shorter videos. So you may have a Friday video. It's only 3 minutes long, but it'll be one where I actually go into do some stuff about talking about those different things for you. So that'll be kind of a cool little how-to or just an overview of a specific tech piece on that car. Sonic Liberation, can I get the Harman Kardon Sound 1 Signature SE? You can get Harman Kardon on the Signature Cooper SE, I believe, yes. Ethan FA6, do you know how to work the climate control feature where you can set a time for it to turn on? Sorry if that's confusing. I don't know what it's called. I think you're talking about comfort ventilation system, which is the one where you can set it so that you set it so that it comes on at certain times. Like if you're getting ready to go out to your car and it's a hot day and you're trying to go to work or leave work and it's a hot day, the car will know that like 10 minutes prior to crack the windows and turn on the AC. So I think that's what you're talking about. And I don't know exactly how that works. I'll talk to the sales manager on Friday and ask him a little bit about that for you. So JCCJ again, love your video and your love on minis. Please continue. I appreciate your support. I definitely appreciate support. I appreciate everyone's support. This channel has been growing significantly over the last couple of years since I started. I didn't think it was ever going to get to where it is now. It's almost to 5,000 subscribers, and that is insane. I never thought it would get there, but it's heading that way, and I might see 10,000 subscribers by September. So that is a lot of love for the Mini brand, and that really surprises me that this one person in the Midwest is out there making videos that has that many people who are that interested in the cars and that much support. So I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love of the brand as well, and thank you. So Sonic Liberation, I wonder if the Cooper will get magnetic suspension. Are you talking about the dynamic? It's not dynamic. I think it's adaptive suspension. Whatever it is. I think the Cooper, if the Cooper doesn't have it, it should have it. But I know the Cooper S has it as an option. I think it's the dynamic damper control is what you're thinking of. And yeah, I would hope the Cooper does have it. There's also a possibility the Cooper doesn't have it in the U.S. market. So That could be it there. Sean Nicholson, my local dealer, is having a party on Saturday showing us the new. Yeah, I remember seeing the pictures of it up in somewhere in Seattle or Tacoma. Want to say that? Yeah, there's a dealership up there that has the 2020 BEV. And for those of you who don't know what BEV means battery electric vehicle. And if you ever heard the term PHEV, that means partial hybrid electric vehicle or part hybrid electric vehicle, something like that. Should I look for anything in particular? The only thing you should look for, Sean, is I looked at the videos, I looked at the pictures of the car, and that GP3 is not a US spec car. And I can tell it's not a US spec car because the US spec John Cooper Works hardtops and Cooper S's have a sport or a driving mode toggle on the dash. Now, unless that's a particular feature they decided to completely eliminate from the US market GP3, that would surprise me, but I don't believe that is the US spec car because I believe most of the cars they've been unveiling have been European spec cars to show them off before the cars actually arrive. So that's one thing. Apparently, if you look underneath the car, there might be a few little things there that give it away as not being a US spec vehicle. But yeah, Washington Tacoma. So yeah, so there might be some things in there that you might see the difference. That matter, the GP3, the European market has two specs. There's a high-end spec with navigation, and then there's a low-end spec with things like no air conditioning, apparently, which is kind of strange. But some people have been confused. And I seem to be having an internet connection here, error here. Okay, it seems like the internet connection is back, so I think I had an unstable connection briefly. But anyway, Sonic Lip says I may lease the Cooper SC this year. Hate, is there any way you can get a referral commission on the lease? I can't get a referral commission unless you buy it through Baron Mini, but I can unfortunately tell you they don't offer a lease for the Cooper SE. The Cooper SE and the Countryman Hybrid are the only two vehicles now you can no longer lease. You have to purchase them directly. I don't understand why they decided to do that, but that's what I heard when I was talking to the sales manager, and he asked the brand rep why they can't lease the cars, and something to do with the way Mini is doing things, but you can't lease a Cooper SE electric or the Countryman Hybrid anymore. So interesting situation there. A little disappointed to see that. But if you do decide you want to buy the car and you'd like to go through, basically, in order for any referral commission on anything, for me to get any sort of referral commission for anything, it has to be a car bought through Baron Mini in Miriam, Kansas. And then you have to discuss with the sales manager about shipping and all that stuff. But he's willing to work with you on that stuff, and he's willing to work with you if you want to do some things like vinyl decals and stripes and so forth, because he might notice that some of the you might notice that a lot of the Minis that I do my videos on that are brand new from the dealership have no vinyl on them. And that's the reason. And that reason is because the owner of motoringstripes.com, who is also one of the hosts of White Roof Radio, he does all the stripes for the dealership and all the vinyls. So the cars arrive at the dealership with no vinyl on them. And the whole point of that is they're going to allow the customer to decide how they want their car to look. So you can have your car striped any which way you want. And that's kind of a cool thing. That means the car is really more personalized for you and not just specced out from the factory with $300 stripes. If you want $300 stripes, he'll give you $300 stripes, but you can have $300 stripes however you want them and in whatever color you want them. You don't have to have white or black. You can have red, you can have pink, you can have green, you can have any color you want. And he even recently re-wrapped a roof on a coral red Clubman. It had a black roof. The customer wanted a white roof. The car has a white roof now. So it's kind of cool. ACCA, do you like new 2020 front fog lights? I think the new Halo Ring fog lights are fantastic looking. I think it gives the car a little bit more style, and it ties in better with the LED ring around the headlight. So I really like the new look of it, actually. I think it's a very, very nice look. Sonic Liberation, hybrid systems are too complex. Make up your mind is what I have to say about hybrids. Here's the thing about the hybrids. And for those of you who might not know, the Mini Countryman Hybrid, the way it works is, for example, so here's your front axle. This is where your 3-cylinder engine is. And then in the back, you have your rear axle. This is where the electric motors are. unlike normal all-wheel drive systems, it doesn't have a drive shaft. The cool thing is the electric motors are driving the rear wheels, so in effect you have an all-wheel drive system, computer-controlled all-wheel drive. What's cool about this is I think that Mini could take that idea of a hybrid and adapt it into the hardtop model. So imagine taking a 228 horsepower or 300 horsepower, well, 228 horsepower John Cooper Works hardtop and putting electric motors in to drive the rear wheels and then programming it all. You'd end up with an all-wheel drive car. So Mini has the technology capability to make an all-wheel drive car in the smaller package using electric motors without a drive shaft. So that's kind of a cool thing, and it also means you can also drive the car in rear-wheel drive, which is kind of fun. I've driven the hybrid in rear-wheel drive. It was rather an interesting experience. But that's why I think the hybrid is not necessarily a terrible thing. That being said, if you're going to buy a hybrid, the hybrid range on the Mini Countryman, in full electric mode, is 16 miles on battery. It is not as long as it could be. It can be up to 36 as a mix between the two, but on average, it's about 30 mpg. So it's kind of just the way that is. Sonic Liberation, because battery tech is evolving so fast, I bet the depreciation will be very high on the SE. I don't know about how the depreciation is going to be on the SE yet, because since there's not any on the used market, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think the tech is going to evolve. I think the cars are going to evolve. I did read somewhere that as far as warranties are concerned, the hybrid, the electric has an 80, what is it? It was a 8-year, 100,000 mile battery warranty. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping that they do really well. Roberto Corellis, and I'm sorry, I'm having bad internet connection again. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. So hold on a second. Okay, internet connection's back, guys. If I suddenly stop talking, the screen pauses. I'm having an internet issue for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, Roberto Corellis. Hello, my friend. I saw the news about the next generation delay due to Brexit. When, in your opinion, the next facelift and next generation will be presented? I said that earlier in the video. We're probably going to see the actual release of the car sometime in 2024 is what I'm thinking, 2024, 2025. And we'll probably start seeing the development of the vehicle, test mules and so forth, sometime in the next year and a half or so. So we're not going to see it probably this year, but they're still designing the car, I would imagine. So we'll probably see some test cars in the next couple of years, and production cars within the next 4 years or so. JCCJ, what will be your next Mini? Well, funny you should mention that. With all the crap I've been dealing with my John Cooper Works Clubman, and the fact that some of the parts are now discontinued on it, I may actually want to trade that car in a little sooner. So I'm actually looking at possibly getting a F56 John Cooper Works hardtop. I have one in mind. I'm waiting for the possibility of that person who owns the car trading it in. There's also the possibility if I wait until the end of this year, I could just lease a brand new one or buy a brand new one. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but it's going to be an F56 John Cooper Works hardtop. That's my goal, and I have ideas for it already, plans, what I want to do with it when I get it. But that's my goal, possibly, is that car. The other thought is I might just hold on to my John Cooper Works Clubman for a lot longer. It's higher mileage now. Pardon me, still owe money on it. And but it could happen. The new car could happen a lot. And having another internet connection yet. But if you can all still hear me, the new car might happen a lot sooner than I was initially planning. So it depends on what car you might see me in Texas States with. It'll either be my blue Clubman or it might be something entirely new altogether. But you'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. JCCJ, new JCW has 306 horsepower, so attractive. 306 horsepower is European market, 301 horsepower in the U.S. market, and it's only available at 301 horsepower in the Clubman, the John Cooper Works Clubman, John Cooper Works Countryman, or the GP3. So unfortunately, the 301 horsepower is not available in the hardtop or the convertible, which is kind of disappointing when you think about it. I think a 301 horsepower regular JCW would be pretty cool, but they have no plans to do that anytime soon. And I think largely it has to do with the fact they want to sell as many of the JCW GP3s as possible. So I think that's probably why they're not going to be doing that. But anywho, I think I've taken up enough of your time this evening. We've got about 12 people in here watching. But we're about 40 minutes in, and I'm sure there's more questions you might want to have, and you can always comment in the comment section below, and I will respond to your comments as soon as I can. I have other videos coming out. I have a video coming up on Friday that's on the launch. It's just a B-roll video put together with clips, but it's the launch of the 2009 Mini Cooper, or not Mini Cooper, the Mini E, the first electric Mini, or as I like to refer to it, the forgotten electric Mini, because some people seem to not remember that Mini did do an electric Mini prior. So pretty good little video. That'll be followed by 2 more videos on the electric Mini. One of them will be another test drive kind of video thing, which is kind of cool. And then there'll be the video of the Mini Cooper E, or the Mini E, on the Nürburgring, because when all the cars were returned after the leasing was up on them, some of them were scrapped, some of them went to museums, and some of them became race cars. So 3 videos right there that are going to be pretty fun, I think. I think you're going to enjoy watching them. They're kind of technical. They're not much me. There's not going to be me talking at all, really. It's just clips I put together, but I think you're all going to really enjoy it. So check out those. I got another video coming up soon, sometime next month, on recoding my service logger, which was kind of an interesting experience. I have another video coming up on something I tried out, and I'm going to start doing more of these, called a blind car review. So you're not going to know what car I'm reviewing until you actually get into the video and start watching it, because I didn't even know what car I was reviewing until I started out and found the car and started filming. So it was kind of a fun thing to do. I have a video on the 2021, what's going to be new for 2021 model year, so that'll be cool, and that'll be followed up at some point by a 2021 model when they finally do show up on the lot. That'll be in a couple of months, because they've started ordering them. It takes about 2 months for the cars to ship. So that'll be coming as well. But if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, because I want to make sure you guys get the videos, as I upload them every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Central Time. I don't know anything yet about Mini Takes the States, but you can be sure I'm going to try to at least go to part of the event. So you'll probably be able to see me there if you are going to be doing Mini Takes the States. As far as Sonic Liberation, I have not done a video on the Paceman, because I'm still waiting for a Paceman to show up on the used side of the dealership's lot so I can do a video. But I may actually have to start doing some digging and go to find a dealership in Kansas City area that actually has a Paceman that will let me do a video on it. So we're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to try to get a Paceman video done for you as soon as possible, because I want to do a video on that, because I think it's a good car to do a video on. But anywho, if you haven't also already done so, don't forget to check out the Teespring store, teespring.com/stores/the-Miniac. And there's some really cool stuff in there as well. Lots of cool t-shirts, lots of cool stickers. There's a lot of new work in there that was done by my friend here, Ethan, otherwise known as Ethan F56 right here. And it's fantastic work. He gets a percentage of the sale as well. We get an even split on what we make off the stuff anyway. So good deal for all of us. I finally got a chance to get my own sweatshirt from my Teespring store. So I'm going to finally be wearing my own merch, which would be nice. So that'll be fun. But go check that out. If you're looking for stuff for Mini Takes the States, like some decals or grill badges or whatever, head over to motoringstripes.com. Use code Miniac for 5% off. And there's new Miniac grill badges now that he has. So you can go over there into his new products section. You can get yourself a grill badge for the Miniac channel, which is really cool. And you can also use that same discount code for any products you want on there. But I'm going to go ahead and pop out here, because I got other stuff I got to do. But before I let you go, I'm just going to remind you all that, as always, life is too short to drive a boring car. So drive a Mini. I will see you all later. You all have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll catch you later.